Hello, or good morning, like I like to say, and welcome to 10 Ways to Create a Sold Out Event. Now, I know as fitness professionals, we love to have events, be a part of events. It's really, really, really great because what happens is that you get to present to an audience that you normally wouldn't in just teaching your classes. So, events are great because you get to connect with other fitness instructors, you get to have a fun event. It's a completely different environment than just your hour class that you have during the week. And then also you get to make more money than you would normally in your hour class as well. So the events are a little bit longer. It has offering a little bit more, really fun. Events are great. I have probably been a part of 100+ events. I have hosted tons of events. And it's just, I always learn something from them. They're really, really great. So I've, like I said, I've hosted a lot of events, and some of those events didn't do so great, and some of those events did amazing. So when I actually figured out how I could continuously create this event that would do really well, I started doing that and I started realizing it worked because I can't say that I put in less work and that's why it didn't do as well. Some of the events that I didn't do the best on, I put the most work in too. And it's extremely frustrating. If you've hosted any events before and they haven't done well and you're like, I don't understand. I worked really hard. I did all these promotions. Why didn't this work? And so you have to realize it's not necessarily the amount of work that you're putting in. And I don't like to use the cliche of working smarter, not harder, because you still have to work hard and you can't avoid that. But it is a working smarter type of formula that you need to do to be able to create that event. So I am going to go over 10 ways that you can create a sold out event. I have it on my notebook right here. The 10 ways. I probably should have some type of board or something like that to have them on, but that's okay. The first one is give yourself time to plan. And the more events that you have, and especially if they're more of a medium sized event. So you're going to have an event, it's going to have like 3 or 4 instructors there. You already kind of have an audience and you have a following. And so you plan an event 6 weeks out. Not a big deal because you're used to planning these events. They happen consistently. People know your events. If it's a first time that you're planning an event, or if you do not have a following, I would absolutely minimum give yourself 3 months to plan it. If it's, I even would say closer to 6 months, just because you need to get a venue, you need to get the people that are going to be a part of the event to make the commitment to it. You need to get your promotional item. You need to get all of those things together. And the last thing you want to do is feel rushed through your event once it gets closer to time to actually execute it. So giving yourself a little bit more time is a lot better than waiting to the very last minute to do it, because there's certain people that are thinking, okay, you know what? I'll host an event. I'm going to do it next month. I'm not saying it can't get done. I'm just saying it's so much stress that you're putting on yourself unnecessarily when you could just give yourself a little bit more time to plan. Like I said, 6 months is great. 3 months, it can still get done. It could get done in 6 weeks. But please do yourself a favor and give yourself at least the 3 months. Like I said, find a venue, find the people that are going to be a part of it, giving them their promotional items, or not promotional items, but if you have flyers, things like that, their tickets, give them time to get ready as well. So it's not like rush, 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 rush. And then when you're pushing and doing all this work, you wonder why you don't have a great turnout. And that's why. So giving yourself time to actually plan the event, promise will help you in the long run. Number 2, promoting smart. This is huge. When I first started hosting events, I spent hours up late at night posting in different groups, posting online, posting on different websites, posting. I went out, I put things on cards, I went to businesses, I did all of these things where I took literally weeks to promote, just doing things like that. And guess what? Those were the lowest turnouts I had for my events. And it's funny because you're thinking, well, I did all this promoting and I posted all these places and I actually went and physically went to places. Why didn't this work? Well, because you don't have a target. You don't have a target promotion. You're just promoting everywhere. And 99% of those people do not care. When you're going and you're putting flyers on cars and things like that, that's great. Someone might acknowledge it, someone might not. But how many of those people actually even would be interested in fitness? How many of those people would actually be interested in attending that event? How many people would be interested in what's going on in that event? Instead of taking the time to focus on promoting to everyone, you should specifically find people that you can promote to. And who I would start with, absolutely, first are the people that you know, the people in your classes, the instructors that are going to be a part of the event, because I want to talk about that as well. You should have other people that are going to be a part of your event. Absolutely, hands down. Even when you do start to create, to host more events, you should still have instructors there as well until you reach a certain, when you hit a certain audience or a certain reach and you have a certain following, then you can have your own events and it's just you by yourself and maybe you're doing something kind of like a master class. But if you can include other people in your event, I would absolutely always do that. But starting with them first, having them start with the people that they know first. Like I said, your class, telling your class and the people that are coming to tell people that they know. Then from there, I would go to going into like Facebook groups of specifically people that are interested in fitness, connecting with those people first. And then maybe as well, you can throw out something that is kind of a little bit more broad, but I definitely would not focus there because those people, no matter how much you promote to them, you're not going to get a large amount. You're probably going to get 1% if you're lucky from those people because they're so broad that most of them, almost all of them, are not going to be interested in your event. So just to save yourself some time, some frustration, keep it very specific. Start with the people that you know first, that you know would be attending or interested in attending, telling them to let people know, and then keeping it to those groups of people as well. Number 3, having a ticket minimum. And this is a big, 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 big thing because when I first started, I wanted to be, I didn't want to have a ticket minimum. I wanted to just have people have a good time. And I thought people were just going to show up at the event and the instructors that I had were going to bring people and it was going to be amazing. And that's not what happened. I didn't put a ticket minimum. Most of those instructors didn't bring anybody. And I had an event of like 3 people that showed up. So, and those people were people that I brought. So if you are having an event, and you should have at least 3 other instructors that are going to be there, have a ticket minimum that has to be sold regardless of what. Because if you do not, and they do not bring those people, you will not have an event. You cannot have an event without having people. And if you are going to have, anything else there, vendors, things like that, those people want people to be there. So you have to ensure that you're going to have some people that show up. Please have a ticket minimum. That helps everyone out. It needs to be done. Like I said, I didn't really want to do it in the beginning, but guess what? I had no people that were showing up from my instructors because they weren't bringing anyone. And it was pretty much me pulling people to try to get them, like pulling teeth to try to get people to get there. And it's not fair because you're the one that's hosting it. You're doing all this other work. You have the instructors there. It's also good for them because they have to bring other people. When they bring other people, that's great for the other instructors as well. The other instructors are bringing people, you're bringing people. It's just better for everyone all around. So you might not really want to do the ticket minimum, but I do advise if you do want to have a outcome of people that are, a nice crowd of people versus just having 2 or 3 people, definitely have a ticket minimum. It will definitely save you a lot of stress. Number 4, partnering with a nonprofit organization to donate to. If you listen to anything that I do or watch anything that I do, you know that I'm always about giving back. You absolutely have to give back because the thing is that that's part of helping you grow. And I don't know how to explain it well to help you understand, but when you give back, it helps you grow as well. And I always, always, always am donating. I'm always going out and helping. And if you can do an event, you can connect with a nonprofit. You can let them know what's going on. You also might get additional help from them as well about bringing people there. You should absolutely do that. You feel good about it. People feel good about coming, knowing that they're helping as well. And you could do something like raffles that'll go towards you can donate to them, things like that. Really, really fun things. And like I said, when you're bringing in a nonprofit aspect of it and helping other people want to help others. you enjoy helping others, it's a win-win altogether. So pretty much every event that I have is always partnered with a nonprofit organization to be able to help them as well. Number 5, showing video preview of what is going to be at your event on social media. So big, 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 big. For your instructors, I would always tell them, give me some video about a class that you did, or give me a short little bio about you. And if you have any clips of any of your routines, any of your classes, give that to me as well. Because when you're promoting on social media, people love videos, and it's great to see what's going on, because someone who may have been on the fence about coming to the event will now be like, oh my God, that's great. What is this? They share it with somebody else. Oh my God, do you want to go? Let's go to this. I've always wanted to try this, or I've always wanted to do this, or this looks really interesting. Let's go. And then someone else is like, yeah, that does look great. They tag someone else. So showing what's going to be, or the instructors that are going to be at the event, is so powerful. That is the most powerful way as far as promotions. And that'll go a lot farther than you going the door to door, or you putting flyers on people's cars, because I've done it all. I've gone door to door and put flyers on people's on people's steps, like in between their doors. I've put flyers on cars. I've gone to parks and walked around and given people flyers. And guess what? Again, didn't really do much. But guess what? Video is very powerful. Let them know a little bit about what's going to be at the event, the instructors, and that will be pretty powerful for you as far as promotions. So number 6, posting outside of social media. I know that, and I always, always, always stress social media, but it's not the only way to promote. And I would definitely say to promote outside of social media. And that's in ways of giving the instructors flyers to give out to their people, you giving out flyers to the people in your class, things like that. Like I said, I'm not going to say not to do outside of things. Like if you go to a supermarket and post a flyer there, things like that, you can do it. I just wouldn't, that should be pretty much 5% of your promotions. I wouldn't put a lot of time and energy into that, but I definitely would give it to people in your class, friends, family, things like that. Have them be able to promote it for you, even if it's something that they're not super interested in. Usually friends and family hopefully will want to support what you're doing and be able to let other people know who may be interested, because people always know people that are interested in something. And so they'll say, oh, I know someone who's interested in this. Is this going to be there? And you can give them the flyer and tell them to, they can let other people know as well, and they can check it out. So I would definitely keep it very word of mouthish, people to people, versus just going to a cold audience. And like I said, I'm not saying not to do it. I'm saying that should be what you do, what you go to last. So we are at, what number are we at? We are at, okay, number 7, event sites. Okay. You should definitely, outside of just your social media, your Facebook, your Twitter, Instagram, things like that, you should also post on event sites, because they have event sites depending on your location, that you can actually pick where your event's going to be at, post it. They'll give you a category for fitness. You can put it on there. Most of the postings, 90% of them are free. So you don't even have to pay a lot of money to post the event. And then what's great about that is that a lot of times when you post your event on one event site, another event site will pull your event, put it on their site. So what happens is when you look the event up, it comes up, because I saw that before. I looked up the event because I'm, weird, and I always want to pull up stuff and look up stuff and look at stats. And I noticed that my event was on sites that I never even put it on, which is even better for you, because you're getting even more promotions, but they're taking your event and putting it on their site as well. And then of course, when you do put it on those sites, make sure that you do include if there's a website that has more information, the website link. If it's just, you just created an event, which PS, you should create a Facebook event so that people can share that and they can get more information, and you can continuously update people and remind them that the event's happening. So with the link, either with the Facebook event link or with the website, so that they're not just looking at that and not having any point of reference. You don't want people to have to do a whole lot of work to try to figure out where to get more information about this event. You want to have some information about the event link, so if they want some more information, they can go right there. So number 8, have something different that's getting people's attention. Okay, So if you have an instructor and they have a format that is very different than what normally you see, things like that. There's my cat. Cat's always getting in my videos. Um, if you have something that's starting to become wildly popular, if you have some type of something that's attention grabbing, I would absolutely highlight that format first. Because either if you know, and I know that you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to do stuff that's really popular because it's going to be oversaturated and people are going to be tired of it. Hold on, pause. If it's something that's wildly popular right now, push it. Ride the wave to get people in. It's like saying, hey, everybody likes apples, but I'm going to sell them this banana. They don't want the banana. Sell them the apple. Once they get tired of apples, say, hey, here's a banana. But do not try to go against the grain to try to say, okay, well, people are doing this. Let me try to do this. You can include that. But what I'm saying is that it has to be two extremes. It cannot be in the middle. Something that is super popular right now and people are interested in because people are already interested in it. Something that people have an interest in, but they don't get a lot of. It cannot be something in the middle because there's nothing exciting about it. There's nothing to get their attention. There's no reason why they should come. If they don't know anyone at that event, they don't know any of the instructors, why would they come there? And that's what you have to think about. Think about it as far as yourself. If you do not know anything about this event, you don't know anybody who's going to be there, you don't know any of the instructors, what's going to make you come there? Not a class that you can just do any day out of the week. Why are you going to pay for that? Why? You're not. So what you will pay for, though, is something you've been wanting to try that you've been seeing everywhere, and you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to try this, or something you really want to try and you haven't been able to get access to. Those are the two things that you need to highlight for your event. And that will then spark the interest of people that you have a cold audience versus the people that are going to come to the event anyway to support. So super important, highlight them. And then, like I said, push that as much as you can. And you'd be able to hit an audience of people, of course, a targeted audience of people that are already interested in that type of format. And then once they see that, they're already sold on it. Number 9. Have lots of help. Please have lots of help. And what I mean by that is have volunteers that are going to help you because you don't want to do the event all by yourself. You want to at least be able to enjoy the event a little bit day of. You're not going to want to be super stressed out because you're going to be a little stressed out, especially again, if it's your first event. Have people help you. Have people that are going to come help if people are going to come in and you're going to have tickets that they can purchase day of. Have someone there. Make sure you have a list of people that have to actually sign in so that they have their name and their email so that you can add them on your email list and be able to contact them about future events. Really great idea. Have someone there with that. If you're selling anything, or if you just have something, if you have water, a little bit of food, things like that, have someone that's going to be there for that. If you're going to have vendors at your event, which I always think is a good idea, but then you should also have some type of incentive for people to connect with the vendors, which is a completely different topic. You should have someone that's in charge of letting the vendors know where they're going to be at, the floor plan and things like that for their setup. And then you should have someone also there that's going to be doing video and pictures. If you don't want to pay for someone to do that, definitely have a friend that comes. You could absolutely use your phone. You can use a phone for just your pictures and your video. It's not going to be super high quality, but it's something to help you remember about the event. Definitely have someone that's there that does that also. And then yourself, so that everything is not on you. The first few events I've done, and I started events about 6 years ago, I had maybe like 2 people, because even from the beginning, I knew I didn't want to try it by myself. So I can't even give you this fantastic story about me doing everything by myself because it's never been me. I've always had people that have helped because I know how stressful. I know that I don't do well under a whole lot of stress, and I'm the only person that's there. So even at my smallest events, I had at least 2 other people that were helping me. And then gradually I then expanded and I grew into maybe like 5 or 6 people, which is great if you can get that many people. And the thing is, you can even get people to help you If you post online, if you post on Craigslist and have them volunteer, people respond to things like that. I've gotten volunteers off of social media and off of Craigslist. So don't think that nobody's going to want to volunteer at your event. They absolutely will. You just have to post it and have them come out. And number 10 is having a checklist. So important. You need to have a checklist because you need to know you're going to forget something last minute. So you need to have your checklist in the kind of the beginning. So not the very beginning, not like the 3 months beginning, but like a week, a couple of days before the event. Have your checklist of all the things that should be done before the event starts, and have your checklist of all the things that you need to take to the event, that needs to happen at the event. If you want certain pictures of certain things at the event, you need to have like a shot list, which is separate than your checklist. But on your checklist, you should have something that says shot list needs to be done. And that needs to say, this shot needs to happen. These pictures need to happen. This needs to happen. You need to have a checklist. So when you get to the event, you know, okay, well, before you get to the event, when you're driving to the event, you can say, these are the things that I have. Make sure I have everything with me. You get to the event, you have a checklist. So really there should be separate checklists. 1, for things that you need to get done before the event. 2, things that need to happen at the event. And then 3, you need to have your shot list of what you want as far as like pictures and videography at the actual event. So that will help also as well, so that you're not relying completely on in your mind, in your memory. Because if I just depended on that, I wouldn't remember 90% of the things that I need to get done. So make sure you have your checklist. You go over those checklists before the event, during the event, and then your shot list should also be happening as well during the event. And that'll definitely help things go a lot smoother. And for a bonus, to have a really great event and to have it sold out is just to have fun and create an experience that people are really going to enjoy. Because a lot of times for events, I got kind of spoiled because the first few events that I hosted did really well. And then I thought that all of my events were going to do really well, and then they didn't. And I was confused because, again, I did the same amount of work for them, and it just because I wasn't working smart. And so the events ended up being more of a burden and more stressful than more, fun. And the thing is that people remember a great experience. So I've hosted events that I had maybe 3 people attend, and they tell me that that was a great event. When I have future events, they came and supported those events. They told other people about the events, and it wasn't because I had a whole lot of people there. It's because I still created an experience that they still really, really enjoyed. So no matter if you have 3 people or 300 people, you still need to provide an experience that's going to be memorable for them. So if you do things and things might not go exactly the way you want, you still need to provide the same experience. But if you do go through this and you go off of this checklist that I provided, you should be able to duplicate a very sold out event. You should at least be able to have 50 to 100 people that come to your event. It's all about other people, connecting with other people. And like I said, being able to provide them with something that's different and fun and exciting. And like I said, actually providing a phenomenal experience. Because if you get all those people there and then you fail to provide this experience for them, yeah, you got them there. Yeah, you got your money for that event. But guess what? The next time you have another event, those people are going to tell other people who are going to tell other people that that wasn't even a great event and not to go. You definitely don't want that to happen when you're building. So hope you guys definitely got some useful information out of this. Thank you so much for listening. Go out and have super awesome, amazing events. And if you guys have any questions, you can always connect with me through Everyday Fitness. You can email us at everyday365fitness@gmail.com. Or you could also find me on social media. I say Facebook because that's really the one thing that I check the most. I don't really do a lot with my Instagram. But on Facebook, I'm Mia, M-I-A-N, as in not Mia, but like Nancy, and then still Still. And I'm on Facebook as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. You have a great rest of your day.